I'm just looking for a little feedback. When we process information in our neurons of our brain, it's the absorbing thing, and absorbing and regurgitating kind of passes for education in the world, but it's really not. It has to go in, it has to integrate, and then it has to be retransmitted. So feedback in the system is very critical. What's coming up for you, what's alive, and what this wakes up in you, in your practice, in your minds, from what's going on, and what we played with, and the chaos we incrementally fooled with, changing parameters. What arises in you? What do you like? What do you not like? What's working for you? What's not working for you? What's it doing? Let me know.
Eyes are really important.
Isn't that fascinating? Eyes are more important than we think they are. When we start out, we think, unbendable arm, big structural thing. Center, very big structural thing. Same hand and foot, big structural thing. Lots of big structural things, easy to get these gross things and make them primary. And they're very important. They are very important. And then we talk about eye contact, and you say, oh yeah, okay. Look at me in the eye, okay. And it's the hardest one to do.
Yeah.
Because emotionally, it ties us to a whole different primate thing that we're not used to doing. Normal primates in the wild, eye contact means two things. We're about to kill each other or we're about to make love. That's what it means.
Yeah.
And to train yourself to do this as a defensive reflex is very, very different. Eye contact by itself will extinguish a lot of problems. You got the guy come in and he has the bad vibe and you look him right in the eye and smile at him. They don't want to mess with that. That ain't right. Something's very wrong with that picture. If they walk in the room and they're the bad thing and they start sniffing around and everybody smells like prey, well, they're going to go to town. That's what they showed up for. That's the party they bought the ticket for. They want to be there. They walk in the room and they start sniffing around and you look them in the eye and smile and they go, there's another fucking predator in the room. I don't know why he's smiling at me, but he's looking at me like I like to look at them, and I don't like that. The lion walks in and there's another lion already there. That ain't too cool for him. And you're not a predator, but you have that signal. Because you have the imbued confidence that comes with doing lots and lots of practice, and you've learned a little thing to do with the eye. And you can make it even worse. You can look him in the eye, and the chaos can be purely psychological. You can do the Jedi mind trick. You look them in the eye and you think about throwing them on their head. And you smile. Or you frown. Or whatever. I don't recommend grimacing and making faces too much, but you just have that flat, dead expression like those hitmen get. How are you today? And you're just thinking about turning them upside down and seeing how their head is. And oddly enough, that sends a signal outside of your nervous system, all across the room, through the air with pheromones or visuals or subconscious reflex or however the hell people read it, I don't know. It's a vibe, and wow, they don't want a piece of that. They go, there's a vampire over there, you're going to bite me in the neck. I don't know what that is, but it ain't right, and I don't want a piece of it. And it shuts it down before it starts. The fight is over before it begins. That's the best chaos deterrent right there. Don't be in the bar where the fight breaks out. Or shut it down before it starts. Because once you wind up in the middle of it, you can be throwing people and kicking ass and taking names and turn around and there's the bar stool. Like you did. She was in the middle of a bunch of cops who were trying to get the hell out of the bar because they saw it looking bad and they were off duty and they didn't want to get involved in the off-duty cop has to handle the problem, da-da-da, their protocols, call it in. Get the hell out of there and call it in for the guys who are official. And you were exiting the scene and they started swinging and they weren't even swinging at her and she threw two of them before the third one turned around and bam! There's the bar stool. That's still success by my standards. Crashed two of them on the way out.
Yeah, except I almost died.
Except you nearly died. Yeah, the nearly died
There
part is a
is
little
that.
treacherous part. Yeah. So, chaos is that bar stool. Chaos is the fact that, chaos is kazoosh. You're walking along and you think there's floor there ain't floor there. Or you think it's a nice piece of canvas and it's a piece of ice. Or you think, you think there's one more step at the bottom of the stairs and there's two. That's exciting. Or you opened up the cabinet door and you turned it around in the dark and the cabinet door's in your face and you didn't remember it. Or you have a damn cat And you get up in the morning and you're trying to get your stuff together and the cat's really interested in getting fed and you turn around and you, oh, don't step on the cat. And oh, shit, it all goes everywhere and the cereal flies. Just trying not to hurt the cat. Because it likes to get right under your feet, right? Chaos is everywhere. And riding with it and not getting too locked in. When you lock into a pre-planned, pre-programmed deal, you live in only the kata world. The life is predictable world. Everything will always be in a predictable way. You're doing the thing that people do that get themselves killed. You're doing the, what did you call it, Kyle? They go, the snow hits and the ice hits and they go out dressed.
Oh, yeah. You dress to, most people dress to arrive, not to survive.
Yeah.
You know, and
They don't predict that the car is going to break down. They're going to be walking for 30 miles in ice and snow, you know.
They had the guy in Minko in his car under 6-foot snowdrift.
6 foot of snowdrift.
In his car.
Said the worst case of frostbite they'd ever seen was a gal in Alaska, and she was always gets up and goes to work, puts on her go to work clothes, and drives 15 minutes, 30, 20 miles, no big damn deal. And one day it breaks down, and she was prepared with her boots, and she was prepared with her upper, and right here, she just didn't have all this quite covered up as best as it ought to be.
Mini skirts don't cover these too good.
Yeah. And it was only frostbite.
Yeah. But she looks good when she gets to work.
Mm-hmm.
But
Used to.
yeah.
Predict the future. You say, oh, I'm just going to work. Well, no, you predict the future by preparing for the bar stool, by preparing for stepping in the hole, by preparing for the predators that walk in the room and they're ready to mess with you. You hope to hell you never have to walk through the ice and snow, but you dress up so you can. Or at least you have the clothes in the car so you can change there. You get your long handles on, and it looks goofy as hell with a mini skirt, I'm sure. But you gotta have something covering that bare skin, or you are gonna hurt. And so you do training. You train your ass off. And kata gives us training. Kata gives us a method of trying to imbue ourselves into the chaotic universe and not get too overwhelmed at the same time, so we can sort of have a route in. But if we do nothing with kata, and there are systems that do that, you wind up locked into a mode where you're predicting that everything's predicted, that you've thought of it all, that everything will happen, and you never expose yourself to reality. That gets to be a very self-limiting deal too. So people, after many years of training, tend to specialize. Oh, I'm a Randori guy. Oh, I'm a kata guy. I do Shia. I don't do Shia. I do this. I do. You need a little bit of chaos. You don't have to live there all the time. It can be fascinating if you're a little schizophrenic to live there all the time and you love it. Okay, cool. But if you're the other end of the spectrum and everything has to be just right all the time, you want to always have everything in the perfect box all the time, you need to let it out of the box sometime and let the chaos work a little while around the edges, just to keep your senses fresh and just to keep your perceptual mechanisms, how your eyes are working. Because it's the back part of your brain, it's that smarter part back there. Cool? Cool. Okay, that's all I got to say. And we got a break till 2:30 or so. We got a nice long lunchtime. Mat's open. You can play all you like. Feel free.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much. At 2:30, we're coming back with